You know, when you browse a website, you probably picture this direct line, right? Your computer connecting straight to the site's server. But what if I told you that connection is almost never direct, that there's actually a secret middleman handling pretty much every single request you make? Let's pull back the curtain and see how this hidden layer of the internet really works.
Yeah, this quote really hits the nail on the head. It gets right to the heart of it. There's an intermediary in almost all of our online interactions. So, what exactly is this proxy that's sitting in the middle of everything?
Okay, so in the simplest terms, a proxy is a server that acts as a go-between. You can think of it like a personal assistant for your internet requests. It sits between you, that's the client, and the website you want to visit, and it manages the entire conversation for you.
So how does this middleman actually do its job? Well, it's a super quick 5-step dance. First, your computer sends a request, say, to watch a video. The proxy immediately snags that request. Then it processes it based on its rules. Maybe it's filtering for security, or maybe it checks if it has a saved copy of the video nearby. After that, it forwards the request to the real server. The server responds back, but only to the proxy. And finally, the proxy sends that response back to you. The crazy part? This all happens in milliseconds.
Now, you might be wondering, why go through all this trouble? Well, this little detour provides some huge benefits. Proxies can seriously boost security by hiding your real location. They can improve performance by saving or caching copies of websites. They can manage server load, control access to content, and even give you anonymity online. Really, they're the unsung heroes of a smooth and safe internet.
To really get a handle on proxies, you need to know that they basically come in two main flavors. So first up is the forward proxy. The best way to think about this one is as the client's, that's yours, personal representative on the internet.
A forward proxy lives on your side of the network. It takes all of your outgoing requests, everything you're trying to access, and it sends them out to the internet on your behalf. So to the rest of the world, it looks like the proxy is the one asking for the website, not you.
So where would you actually see this in action? Well, think about a corporate office or a school network. They use forward proxies all the time to block certain websites, to monitor for any security threats, and to speed things up for everyone by caching frequently visited pages. It's all about managing and protecting the users inside their network.
So the bottom line? A forward proxy acts on behalf of you, the client. It's your agent out there on the web.
Now let's flip that coin over and look at the other side, the reverse proxy. If the forward proxy is the client's representative, you can think of the reverse proxy as the server's guardian, or maybe even its bodyguard.
A reverse proxy sits out in front of a web server, or more often, a whole army of them. It acts as the public face for the entire service. When you send a request to a huge website, you're not actually talking to the server that holds the data, you're talking to its reverse proxy.
And these reverse proxies are incredibly powerful. They do something called load balancing, which is really just a fancy way of saying they can take millions of incoming requests and spread them out across many different servers, so no single one gets overwhelmed. They also cache popular content to reduce the strain on the back end and protect the real servers by hiding them from the public internet.
The key takeaway here is just this simple. A reverse proxy acts on behalf of the servers. Its whole job is to protect and optimize the service from the outside world. Okay, so we've met the two faces of the proxy. Now, let's put them head to head. This is where the difference between them really clicks.
All right, let's break this down. A forward proxy acts for the client and it controls outbound traffic. A reverse proxy acts for the server and it manages inbound traffic. And this creates this really fascinating asymmetry. With a forward proxy, the server has no idea who the real client is. But with a reverse proxy, the client has no idea what the real server is. See? They're perfect mirror images of each other.
Now, I know this might all seem a bit abstract, but here's the cool part. You interact with both of these types of proxies every single day, probably without even realizing it. Let's look at a couple of real-world examples.
So think about the last time you were connected to your work or school Wi-Fi.
Yep, you were almost certainly going through a forward proxy. That's the system that's blocking social media, scanning your traffic for viruses, and caching common pages to speed things up for everyone. It's working on behalf of the organization to manage all of its users.
Okay, now let's flip it around. What about when you fire up Netflix to watch a show, or do some shopping on Amazon?
Well, you're talking directly to a reverse proxy. That proxy is juggling your request along with millions of others, finding the absolute best server to stream your video from. serving you cached images so the site loads faster, and shielding all of their core servers from the chaos of the internet. It's working on behalf of the service to give you a perfect experience.
Whew. Okay, we have covered a ton of ground. Let's boil it all down to the most important things to remember from all this. If you remember just one thing from this, let it be this core duality. Forward proxies represent clients and manage their outgoing traffic. Reverse proxies represent servers and manage their incoming traffic. Client side versus server side. It's really that simple. And this idea, this isn't just some abstract concept. It is the literal backbone for so much of the modern web. It powers the content delivery networks that make websites load fast all over the globe. It's in the firewalls at every company, and it's the load balancer for every major web app you use. This is the hidden engine, and it's absolutely fundamental.
So, the next time a web page loads in the blink of an eye, or maybe the next time you can't access a certain site at work, you'll know why. You now understand the invisible middlemen that make the entire modern internet tick. The only question is, now that you know the secret, what are you going to see differently?